squad, welcome back to my channel. In case you're new here, hi, I'm Rachel. Nice to meet you. Consider subscribing at the risk of your sanity. I want to talk about things that are usually not on my channel. If you look at the kind of content that I do, is that I show me living my life, you know, the happy days, the not so happy days. But today I want to sit down and have an actual reality check and do a video that I haven't seen in the Kenyan context, you know, one of those, I'm not gonna call it self-help because that's just ghetto, I'm not gonna call it that. But before we get there, a word from our sponsors because the lights have to stay on. In my usual gallivanting at the supermarket, I realized, some people have lost their jobs today due to the president. So let's throw a party. I decided to get some popcorn and a salted butter because I really wanted to try it for a long time. And then I realized, hold on, back the up. Can I make this at home? You know, so I went to my kitchen, melted some butter, took the big popcorn after eating the small one because and then I melted the butter on top of the big popcorn, right? And then I want to see how it tastes. You know what? Okay, it's what like good popcorn from the movies tastes like. When you go watch your movies and then you buy popcorn from the movies, I feel like this is what it tastes like. Back to Rachel in studio.
Girl, aren't you forgetting to say something?
I'm forgetting something?
Girl,
Okay.
it's even in your hand. Why are you even thinking about it?
Oh, it's on my
get it
hand. It's on my
together.
hand. Make sure to join the coolest gang on the internet by hitting subscribe. Smile.
We rehearsed this, girl. Why
Oh,
are you
I'm
saying
supposed to
you're
smile.
supposed to
Can I-
smile?
can I
not
get it
say
sec-
the word smile? Like,
No?
oh, just, it's okay.
Okay,
We're just
fine.
gonna use what we have. Yeah, bye.
And for the people who lost their jobs, you know what? It's only gonna get tougher from here. It's actually gonna get tougher from here, so you had better buckle up. You thought you wouldn't feel taxes? Yeah, sucks for you too, huh? I have teeth insecurity because when I was young, I had severe dental fluorosis, which is the browning of the teeth because of fluoride in water. I didn't see anyone else in my family having that. And to be honest, when I was really small, it felt like a superpower. But as I grew older and realized beauty standards and cosmetic stuff, it started bothering me when I was around 8 years old. And the first procedure that I got was around when I was 14, which is like class 7, class 8 there. What I realized with my parents is that they did the best that they could because it was bad. Oh, girl, it was bad. We went to Pandia Hospital at the time, which if you're from Coast, you know that Pandia Hospital is the shit. I feel like the doctor did not give 100% transparency because knowing my parents and the kind of people they are, if they knew the procedure has to be redone every single 10 years, they would not have gone through the process. So I got crowns. The crowns at the time did not match the rest of the teeth that I had because the dental technology had not gotten there. Trust me, yo. Did the brown thing go? Yes. Did I have matching teeth? No. So I had to grow up with not matching teeth all the way up, I'm gonna say up to how old was I when I did my teeth? Wow, I'm old. We don't realize the kind of superficial world that we live in because me having not matching teeth was not really a problem for me, but it was the comments that I got from other people that made me insecure. You know, people would pick on me like why do your teeth look like that? And you know, you have to explain it, and the more you explain, the more you see how people's faces contort because they don't understand why you don't have good teeth. It got to a point where I was genuinely so insecure that I wouldn't either smile on my Instagram pictures or any pictures whatsoever. I would avoid taking pictures, or I would just have like a resting bitch face like when taking pictures. And this is one of the things that I see people going to get dental surgery for, because let's not refute the fact that any form of cosmetic surgery on your teeth is surgery. Okay, what are you doing it for? If you're doing it for the approval of others, if it's something that you don't have to get, don't get it, because dental surgery is permanent. You don't just put veneers on and then you remember, oh, I want to take my veneers off. No, there's no going back. You have to stay with your porcelain teeth and have to redo them every single 10 years. So think about that before you go and get that surgery. It got to a point where my current veneers at the time, they started breaking, and I had an exposed tooth for, I'm gonna say, 6 months. I couldn't be able to drink anything super hot or super cold because I would get tooth sensitivity, and I struggled with it for a while. And I realized that for the next appointment, because now I'm an adult, I'll have to pay for that shit myself. So I kind of sort of had to sit with myself with that, because at the time, also remember, you're starting out in your career, you're starting to make a little bit of money, and you want to have a certain level of independence. So I also didn't want my parents to pay for me again, you know. I'm gonna jump forward to the point where I decided to get my teeth done. Last year, but one, yes, I decided to go and get that procedure, not because to approve of people, but it was for, number one, the tooth sensitivity, and number two, I realized that if you want to get ahead in life, you kind of sort of have to look the part. I started doing my research way before I even had the money. I decided to make a list of 20 doctors, both in Nairobi and Mombasa, and I was leaning specifically towards Nairobi because I wanted to get the best of the best, and unfortunately I don't think there's so much of the best in Mombasa. And I decided if I have to make a trip, I'm gonna make the trip because I really want this so bad. I treated this research like a research project. I got like 30 contacts, then minimized to like 15, then minimized to like my top 5, and then I picked one. Based on my research, I found that Orthodontics Kenya, and this is not even a sponsorship because I did the work, okay? Orthodontics Kenya were giving the best services at that time, but I realized they don't take insurance. The Lord is faithful, because at the time when I was coming to screen to narrow down to like my best is the time where I had switched jobs and I had gotten some big girl money. I got some big girl money, and I was like, you know what, it is the time to execute. Now that I have the money, now that I have the funds will be utilized. I'd budgeted for 60,000 and I saved up to 60,000, but I came to realize that 60,000 wasn't enough, which was a whole other wahala. And my goal was to get the best, no matter how much it costed. You would think that I would ask if they can get like a prior booking of an appointment because they're the best of the best. Of course, kutakuwa kumeja, you know what I mean? So I get there at the consultation desk and I find a whole queue, and I'm like, what? No! I thought because I'd gone on a Monday and, you know, it's expensive, that people aren't there, which, what is that? Things like that. So I waited to see a doctor for 4 hours. When I get to see the dentist, editing Rachel here. So the doctor told me that my left and right incisor had to be worked on because the fluorosis had affected it, and the prices of veneers was 25k and crowns was 30k, hence the 120. Yeah. So I told the doctor, me have a budget of 60k, that's what I planned to utilize, and I cannot afford 120,000 Kenya shillings right now. Give me a price that I can afford. So he told me to pay 90,000 and he would do the process. And at the time I had some emergency money that I'd put aside, and it was almost close to payroll. I was like, you know what, I'll just use this money and just be broke for like what, a week or two, I'll be fine. I took all that money, nikabaki na shilingi sufuri, 0 Kenya shillings, pesa za Kenya. How I'm going to get home, it does not matter. For now, we get the teeth done. We will figure out how we'll get home. I go through the process, which is very emotionally and physically draining. Surgery, especially teeth surgery, because they have to shave down your natural tooth, and that comes with a lot of tooth sensitivity, discomfort. Your whole body just feels very and you can't get any form of anesthesia to sleep because you kind of sort of have to open your mouth so you are alive through the process. It's took another 4 hours for the process to end, and that was a whole 8 hours. I was leaving the appointment at, I'm gonna say 7 p.m. Yes, 7, and I got to where I was sleeping at 8:39. So that means I missed my train because I had booked for the same day, which was like a bad idea. If you're going to go and get any form of surgery, give yourself a day to rest. Don't just get the surgery and leave. I thought I could pull it off. I couldn't, and I don't think at the time the person I was staying with, who's my friend, I don't think she would have gone above and beyond to get me my bag where I was so that I could go. I just knew she was not that kind of person. You recognize the level of friendships that you have when you are in dire need. So I started calling my friends because kumbuka nimetumia pesa zote, niko na shilingi sufuri pesa za Kenya. So I have to get home, right? Especially where I was staying. I had to get from the hospital to where I was sleeping. So in my numbness, when your face feels like this, I started calling my friends at around 7:30 there. So I called 3 people. One of my friends, she told me that she had loaned someone else money, so she couldn't give me. I totally understood that, and I was very honest with my friends. I just told them, hey, I am in Nairobi. I've just paid a dental bill of 90,000. I don't have money. Just give me 5K just to book my train back, and when we are paid, I'll give you back the money. That was literally the thing. So if you help me, sure. If you don't, fine. And I called this other babe who we had built a little bit of a rapport, and then I told her that because she was doing well off more than I was. And she blatantly told me to my face that she doesn't give people money. And to be honest, at that time, I was so heartbroken because, girl, I need you, girl, you know. But now that I'm older, I've realized that people don't owe you their generosity. People are just people. If they F with you like that, they're going to give you the support that you need. If they don't, cut your losses and, you know, find somebody else. And I called someone else, just a random broski, and I was like, hey Maze, I'm at the hospital, nimekwama, I really don't know who I can ask. I'm struggling. I was actually venting to my broski. I wasn't asking. And then he told me, but then you can ask me, I can loan you. I was like, why? Because I win for the male gender. My friend sent me the money, and then that's how I got the money to go back to my friend's house, and then also book my train to immediately go home. And of course I gave him the money back because I keep promises. I don't know about anybody else. I didn't even eat on that day because I still felt my face puffy up until the next day midday. That's how bad, or that's how strong the numbing medicine was. And it's also important to talk about the recovery process. You do take some time to heal. I think it took me 4 days because that's what the dentist put for me as 4 days of recovery. Just to reiterate the importance of you doing your research first before you go and get any cosmetic surgery done. So am I happy with the process? Yes, because I can smile again. Look at my teeth. You know, and I also appreciate the fact that I could be able to do this for myself. So my learnings is, if you don't have to do the surgery, don't do it. If you don't need to alter any form of yourself just to cover an insecurity, not from a place of need but from a place of wanting to fit in, it's not the best, because there will always be something about you that will always be questionable to the third eye. So as long as unajipenda bitch, you know, everybody else is just around. Yo. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed my story time and you've gotten the learnings that you needed to learn. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, always remember that God made only one of you, and that should tell you something. Bye.